Picture this. We're 10 years in the future. Flash forward sound effect. You're chilling with your beautiful wife. You've been living in your apartment for some time now, just chilling at your job, when suddenly you get a call. Ring, 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 ring. Hello? Hi, Mr. Arnold. Would you like your dream job? We're going to pay you $150,000 to come out here and do whatever you want, really. All you need to do is relocate you and your family to Expensiveville, and we're good. What? That sounds amazing. I'm gonna start looking for places over there right now. Oh my gosh, babe, that's so great. I love you. You're the best. You're so awesome. No one else compares to you. You're amazing. Okay, calm down. It's, not that big a deal. Boom, 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 boom. Now we're looking for houses. You're like, oh my gosh, things are so expensive here. How am I gonna afford this? I guess I'm gonna need to take out a mortgage. Go to the bank. Mr. Arnold, you don't have enough credit to qualify for a loan. What? But I'm going to be making a lot of money. Yeah, that doesn't really matter. You just don't have any credit history. And that's pretty important when getting a loan. What am I going to do? I guess I can't accept my dream job in Expensiveville. I'm going to have to go home and tell my wife the horrible news. Honey, I don't think we're going to be able to make the move. I just don't think I can afford it right now. I don't have the credit. What? You're such a loser. I'm leaving you. How could you do this to us? You got my hopes up for this? I'm leaving. No, baby, please. Don't do this. No, now I'm sad, alone, and with no job. All this simply because I decided to not build my credit. Now, let's say you don't even believe in credit cards. There's still ways to build your credit. And in today's video, we're going to be explaining exactly how you can do that.
Stop wasting money on that dumb shit and instead put it in investment. I know it's tempting. You'll spend it and be broke again.
So in today's video, we're going to be talking about ways you can build your credit score without actually having a credit card, except for one example might be a little bit blurred. So jumping right into that example, starting off with number one is becoming an authorized user on someone else's card.
Yeah.
So you do technically get a credit card, but you don't have to use it. If that person is buying stuff and paying it off, then that will help your credit build with their credit. So that, again, you do have a credit card, but that's the blurred line because you don't actually have to use it.
Sometimes you'll get a physical card. Other times, it's just really dependent on them. And with this, make sure you're choosing someone who has a good credit history themselves.
That's
if
the
you latch
biggest
themselves,
caveat.
Yeah, if you latch onto someone who's not good at paying off their credit card, then you're screwed too. You are hurting yourself more than helping yourself.
And also know your power, because if you do get the card and you decide to start spending on it, you can destroy someone else's credit.
Oh, yeah. If there's a good understanding and you don't plan on spending anything, it's a pretty safe way to go about it, as long as they're good about it. Like, let's say your parent or someone, something like that. Going kind of along in that same sense, you can be a co-signer on a loan. Like, let's say your parents, like you're young and your parents buy you your first car, they put it in their name. See if you could be a co-signer or also get on that loan, because as they're making those payments for that car, in the same sense as kind of being on a credit card, you'll be on this loan and their payments help your credit history. So just kind of tagging along, that's kind of the vibe of these first two, but it's a great way to do it without actually having to do too much yourself.
Yeah, and one of the kind of cool things to impress your parents you could do is if you make a little bit of money, like you cut grass or you work a small job in high school, you could reach out to them and say, I know you guys were maybe planning on buying my first car, but you guys co-sign for me on the loan and I'll pay, and you guys just be the safety net if worst case scenario,
help me out,
I have to focus on school and I can't cut grass or I can't earn that extra income. I'll use savings, but even if I can't do that, then you guys get that safety net. So you guys don't have to necessarily pay, but you would help me get started with my credit and help me get that initial loan. That would probably impress your parents.
Yeah, and in the same sense as that, being an authorized user, whoever is kind of along with that can really mess the other person up, because both people are on the hook in this case. Whatever someone does affects the other. So you just got to be careful with those first two. Make sure that you've had a good discussion with whoever you plan on co-signing or authorizing yourself with. So, just having that knowledge up front and that discussion is very important for these first two tips.
So if you've watched some of our previous videos on credit cards, we've talked about credit builder credit cards, and we've talked about secure credit cards. This is going to be somewhat similar, but more on the loan side.
Yeah.
So this is a secure loan or a credit builder, sometimes called a fresh start loan. And basically, these are typically at smaller banks or credit unions. But what they're going to do is basically give you a loan and put it in a bank account for you. that loan amount, say $1,000, but it's not going to be touchable. Then you're going to make payments on this $1,000 loan. And once you've made all the payments, then you're going to get access to that money in that bank account. So it's almost like, here's the money over here. I'm going to pay you. You're going to unlock it, so I get the money back. So it's kind of like paying yourself back, but it just lets the bank know that you can build that credit. The one thing you're going to want to look for is some banks will only report to one credit union or credit bureau. And you want to look for a smaller bank or a credit union that offers that it's going to report all your payments to all credit bureaus to really help build that credit score.
Yeah, for sure. And shop around for this a little bit, because certain credit unions and banks will actually also, on top of that initial deposit, give you a little bit of your interest payments back. Now, those are a little bit harder to find. This is a great way, to kind of simulate another type of loan or anything. And these are much more easy to get qualified for because it's pretty safe and secure for the bank. They're not putting too much at risk. I mean, if you don't make the payments, they just keep that money because you were never able to access it. And then the last one is, there are certain services, the most common one that's free is Experian Boost, but a lot of these services will report your just bill payments as kind of credit payments. So this helps build your credit history, and you're basically just paying like your rent or your utilities or sometimes your cell phone bill, things like that. Things that you're already paying will now be reported as credit payments. Now, that's a tremendous help right there because it's something you're already going to pay. There's really no added risk for you. It's just really an added benefit. Now, there's just some paperwork and that kind of thing involved, but this is a great way to build credit without really burdening yourself any more than you already were.
Yeah, that's a great point. And go check out a lot of our other credit card videos. We have a ton on low income credit cards that'll help, credit builder credit cards, secure credit cards, all the way up to unique luxury credit cards. There's some really cool ones out there, but sticking in this more realm, you'll probably want one of those credit builder credit cards or secure credit cards to get started, because most of these are geared towards someone that's just trying to get started and build that credit.
So quick recap, guys. Make sure that if you're ever authorized user or a co-borrower or any of these things, make sure that there's a mutual understanding there of whose responsibilities are what, because you can really get dragged down or drag someone else down if you're not careful. And then, securing a secured loan or something like that is a great way to kind of get in good habits of making payments and everything. And then finally, you're paying your rent already, might as well report that as some credit. So that's just a great way to build credit without ever having an actual card yourself.
Right. And 99% of the time, these are all free options. So you don't have to go out of your way and do some kind of membership. Just like the Experian Credit Boost is free, like Taylor mentioned. So it is a great option, especially, again, if you're trying to get started. Typically, you're going to have a lower income, or you're in high school, you're in college, something like that.
Or you just don't want to make those extra little payments for things.
Yeah, that's true. So it helps a lot. So thank you guys for watching. Please like this video, subscribe, send to a friend. I know when we were just getting started, we've talked about a bunch. We were forming a group, trying to talk, learn. And in these situations, it's exactly what this is for. Send to that friend that's trying to learn with you and build that credit just like you are. So be sure to share with them, comment below that you did, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Stop wasting money on that dumb shit and instead put it in investment. I know it's tempting. You'll spend it and be broke again.